Hey guys, Jake here. Welcome back. You probably found this video because you were searching for Mavic 2 Pro or Mavic 2 Zoom or even Mavic 1 low battery or battery failure. And if you did, you're in the right place because in this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the battery inside this remote. This remote came out in 2018 for the Mavic 2, so it's about 4 years old. The Mavic 1 is a little bit older than that. Over time, these batteries are going to degrade, and you'll probably see symptoms such as it's not charging all the way to 100%, which was my case. It kept getting stuck in the 80s. Or it'll charge to 100% but quickly fall back down to 80-something%. Or you just know that you're not getting a long life out of the battery on the remote like you used to. Before you start this video, I would suggest you run the remote all the way down to 0%. Then plug it into a charger and leave it for the full 2 hours and 15 minutes and try to recalibrate your existing battery. That'll teach the remote where the battery at 0% is and where it is at 100, and you may not have to take your remote apart. But if you do all that and you still have issues as I did, then we'll walk you through the replacement process. Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you some really important steps, so make sure you stay all the way till the end. First, you're going to want a battery, which is the 623758-1S2P. That's the part number. It's 4,000 milliamps and 3.83 volts. Put a link in the description below for the battery and any of the tools you see. And this battery came with its own toolkit, which is basically a cell phone repair kit, but it'll work perfect for what we're doing here. It's really important that you remove the 5D toggle switch on your remote. You pull that off by yanking and it'll come right off easily. Then you can remove the USB cable as seen here. And next we're going to get a Torx screwdriver and a little magnetic tray to put all of our screws. Now we will open up the arms on the remote and you'll see two plastic areas down here. We need to remove the Torx screw from the left and from the right, and we will pry these off with our plastic cell phone repair kit or your nails or anything that won't scratch it up too bad. So I'm just going to use this cell phone kit here and pry up on this plastic and pop it off. Okay, once you get these two off, you're going to put your remote face down, and we need to get underneath that little line there in the back. And you might create a few dents here in the process, but that's just how it goes. It's very, very tight. Don't give up, just go slow and steady. But basically, you're going to yank this off. There's no screws, it's only plastic tabs. You just need to release a few of the tabs and yank, and it'll come right out. There you go. Next, we'll set that aside, and we have two black Phillips screws that we need to remove inside. There's the left one, and then there's one on the right. Make sure you use the proper size Phillips screwdriver. It usually comes with a big and a small, and you're going to need the bigger one so you don't strip these screws. If it starts to strip, just quit because you'll make it a lot worse if you strip it. So take your time on removing these two screws. I turn the remote upside down or right side up here so that the screw will fall out and it won't go inside the remote, losing the screw. Okay, we got both Phillips screws removed. We'll set those aside on the magnetic tray so we don't lose them. And now we'll take the next step. Next, we need to remove two of the wires that connect the joysticks of the remote to the board. And mine are already removed in this video, but I'm going to tilt it up here in a second and you'll see you remove them with your fingers or with some tweezers, and that'll allow you to pull the face off of this remote. Okay, now that those are removed, we'll be able to gently pull up, go slow in case there's another wire you're not seeing here. And that has the two wire harnesses for the joystick removed. We can set this aside and go on to the next step. We need to remove a lot of different size screws and put them back in the same place. So I suggest you get a piece of tape, lay it flat here, double sticky tape it to towel, and then as we remove screws, we will place them in the same layout as the remote, so when you go to put it back, you'll know exactly where they go. So I'm removing a couple Phillips screws here, and then there's some really tiny, there's two tiny ones, which is just a cover plate for the ribbon cable. Okay, there's the cover plate, and that'll allow you to prop the ribbon cable or pop the ribbon cable off the board here. And then we have a couple more Phillips screws, normal size on the right here. I'm just checking to make sure that I have the proper Phillips screwdriver, the bigger one, not the smaller one, because I don't want to strip my screws. Okay, with the last Phillips screw removed, we can now jiggle this board and remove any electrical connections from it. I'm going to pull this little wire out and gently lift it away. So this is what we're working with, and that's where your 5D joystick connects. Okay, we have a few more Phillips screws to remove. I think there's 4 here, so we're going to remove these Phillips screws. These are silver ones, so you know that they go in this location. Having a magnetic version of the tool will help you pull them out. Otherwise, you can flip it upside down. And then there's two more Phillips screws that are deep to hold this screen in place. You're going to need a magnetic tool to pull these out, otherwise it'll just come out with the board. Okay, with those 4 screws removed, we can gently pull up, and we're going to have 2 connections here to remove. One of them is going to be the battery itself, which is connected to the board, and we'll need to pry that up gently. You might be able to do it with your fingers, or I pry up one side and then I switch and I pry up the other side. There's also a black and red electrical cable that you'll see at the bottom here. That has also been removed, and there was some black tape to hold that in place. Now there's a really fragile ribbon here, and you'll pop that off and go slow so you don't break the ribbon cable. And that's one of our silver screws. Okay, now we're ready to work on the battery, so I want to verify that the new battery that I have is the proper one versus what's in here. So when I flip it over, there's going to be some foam here, and you would actually have to peel off the foam to see the model number to verify, but you can also look at the electrical connection and verify has the same number and colors for the electrical connection, and at least you'll know that it will plug in properly. So now our goal is to pop the battery out of the plastic casing without breaking anything. And if you pry slow and steady, it will release the adhesive. So just go real slow and you'll feel the adhesive start to relax, and that will get your battery out. You don't want to crack this battery. It can start a thermal runaway. So I pry it up, and there's a little bit of adhesive there, and I'm going to verify that the battery is going to fit. And then I will put new adhesive and I will transfer some foam on top to protect it. The new battery kit came with some cell phone adhesive. This is what you see inside an iPhone. So I'm just going to lay down a little bit of this super thin adhesive inside the battery case. That'll help our new battery stick into place. Make sure you lay down the battery in the exact same manner as the last time so that the pigtail of the wire is in the same spot, and then I push down firmly to have the adhesive start to engage. And you could transfer some of this thin foam over, but mine just peeled off, so I decided to use a bit of my own foam, and it had adhesive on the back, so I went with that. Here I am just measuring out my foam, and then I'll cut it, and I'll put 3 pieces, and that'll just keep the battery from moving inside the battery box and being cushioned in case of a fall, which is important with lipos. You don't want to have them in a jarring, shaking motion because that could damage the cell and start a fire. Okay, the new battery has been installed and we're ready to put everything back together. So you'll start with this ribbon cable. I found it to be very difficult and one of the hardest things to do, so just take your time here. You got to get just the right angle, so you can bend the ribbon cable a little bit to help you slide it back in place, but you might want to use some tweezers, which would be helpful too, but it'll go back in. Just take your time at it. Okay, so I bent it a little bit better here, and now I should be able to slide it back into place. A little bit of wiggle left and right, and there you go. It doesn't need to slide in very far. Okay, once that's in place, we'll put the battery pack module down, and then we will install the 4 silver screws, and we will plug in this pigtail of the battery into the board. You'll need to flex the cables in the proper direction in order to get it to plug in properly. Okay, now we're ready to put that little joystick board back on top. So we'll slide that in place, and then we'll take all the black screws from the blue tape and we will install all of them and put the ribbon cable back in place. Double check those top buttons, because if you don't do it right, the top buttons won't press properly. So double check before you close up the remote that the top buttons work properly. Okay, here I'm going to use some tweezers to help me install this little ribbon cable. And then next I'm going to pry up the black tape that was on the side of the battery case. And I'm going to use that to hold down that black and red cable just out of the way so it doesn't get pinched. And that's how it was designed. So this is a little bit difficult to get this cable back in place, but take your time and it does go back after lots of trying. Now that we have all of our ribbon cables and power cables put back together, we can boot up the remote and check that it's functioning before we put the case together. My battery came at 35%, but you'll see at the end of the video, I'm going to show you how to calibrate it again, because we need to teach this remote that it has a new, more powerful battery, and we have to do that, otherwise it won't function properly. Okay, now we're ready to put the top case back on. And that's just gonna pop into place. And then after this top piece comes down, it'll snap in. And now we're ready to install the 2 ribbon cables for the joysticks there. Okay, now you'll take your 5D button. Yours won't have the white plastic. The white plastic will be part of the remote. Mine broke, but you'll take your black joystick here and push down. It'll slide onto that white plastic and it'll stay in place. I just broke my button on a prior video. All right, if you boot it up, everything should be working, including that button. And then we'll need to assemble the last few screws. Okay, now that the remote's all back together, we need to calibrate the remote for the new battery. So I'm just plugging in to verify that it's charging. But what you want to do is run the battery down to 0%. So run the battery completely flat, then plug it into a charger and don't touch it for about 2 hours and 15 minutes until it gets up to 100%. If you interrupt this process, it will mess up the calibration. So get it to 100%. And then your new battery and your DJI remote will be good to go. Okay, that's the end here. If you guys have questions on anything, make sure you comment below and I'll be able to help you out. And if you want to see more repair videos like this, you can hit subscribe. And if you found value in this video, please give us a like and we'll see you in the next video.